Jacinta, we're getting a signal live stream is up.
Yep, we just sent in the link to Tracy and Alan, and then we'll let you know when it's live.
Good enough. Thank you very much.
The link was sent. They're gonna let us know once it's posted to the website.
Okay. All right, we got the YouTube link. We're getting it posted now, and so give us just one more minute. All right.
Yep, it's up and ready. Can you hear me?
Tell us when we're ready.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
We're good to go? All right.
All right, yeah, good to go.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Good morning. Today is December 15th, 2025. Welcome to the Louisiana State Board of Medical Examiners Board meeting. I'd like to wish everyone a happy and safe holiday season. I'm Dr. Roger Clark, and as chair, I call this meeting to order. But before we get started, can we please all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic which stands nation under God,
And
liberty and justice for all.
just
Thank you very much. I'd also ask for a moment of silence, please, for our country, our state, and the citizens we serve. Thank you. Dr. Kalata, could you please read our mission statement?
The mission of the Louisiana State Board of Medical Examiners is to protect and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of Louisiana through licensing, regulation, research, and discipline of physicians and allied health professionals in a manner that protects the rights and privileges of the licensee.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kalata. Could you please call the roll?
Dr. Coleman,
here.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Dr. Weather,
Here.
Dr. Horton,
Here.
Ms. Sport,
Here.
Dr. Clark,
Here.
Dr. Hamid,
Here.
Dr. Williams,
Here.
Dr. O'Neill.
Here.
Dr. Taylor.
Here.
You have 4 of all 10 members of press.
Welcome, everyone.
No.
For information,
No.
this meeting is being streamed on YouTube with a 15 to 20-second. Today's meeting is being recorded as approved by the board. I would like to invite any public comments to be emailed to publiccomment@lsbme.la.gov. Again, public comment at lsbme.la.gov, all lowercase. I remind all of our staff and board members that your mics will be muted and to use the raise hands function to be recognized. I also ask that once you're recognized, please state your name before speaking. Also advise that if you mute your mic yourself, we may be unable to turn it on for you. So are there any issues from the public before we get started? Any comments, Mr. Allen?
No comments at this time.
Okay, all right. We'll apologize for getting it started a little later than we usually do. We had some technical issues. First is the approval of the minutes. And first, I'd like to ask the board member if there are any additions or corrections that need to be made. Nothing? Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes? So moved by Dr. Horton, second.
White seconds.
Dr. Taylor, Dr. Weiss Coleman is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, the minutes carry. The second item is a request by Dr. Paulana. Dr. Paulana, you have a request from the board.
Yes, we'd like to add an item into the executive session. It is a request for a waiver of rules regarding dispensing permits for a physician.
Is there any opposition? It has to be unanimous to add this to the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me, I apologize. Can I have someone move on it first? Moved by Dr. Hart, second.
Second, Dr. Williams.
Dr. Williams is seconded. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposition? Hearing none, carries. That will be done in the executive session. We'll review that in the executive session. Dr. Claudia, you have the floor.
Okay,
New business.
yes, we've been requested to issue a advisory opinion from the MCCD Psychiatric Services PLC, a licensed group of licensed physicians that practice telehealth and psychiatry. They are here and are willing to make a presentation to go over what their request is. The request is on the screen and is part of your packet. We're able to read it on your agenda. So unless anybody has any other questions, I'd like to go ahead and invite the people that want to make some comments to the board.
Okay, I don't hear any opposition. Let's go ahead and go with that.
They're now in the session.
Good, I'll let you go ahead and introduce them, Dr. Villano. Good morning, I'm Dr. Clark, Chair of the Board. Welcome to the LSBME. Hope they're on or not.
Hope they don't.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm gonna allow Dr. Collada to run the meeting in regard to this issue. Dr. Collada.
Ms. Pearson, did you want to go ahead and present your statement that you'd like to make public to the board and a request to the board?
I believe Dr. Gaveris is on the line as well.
I am. Hi.
Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Gavaris, if you would, whichever
Hi.
one would like to do this, please present it.
Sure. Hi, I'm Dr. Georgia Gavaris, and you've already met Dr. Cheryl Pearson. I'm the Chief Medical Officer and co-founder of Talkiatry, which is a telepsychiatry practice in the United States. We're joining you today because we do have physicians who practice in the state of Louisiana, and we wanted to discuss the matter of controlled substance prescribing in the state of Louisiana, and some back and forth that our council has had with the board after I believe it's Act 322 was enacted in I believe it was last year. So we were told that the original request that we had submitted for our providers to be allowed to prescribe controlled substances for patients in Louisiana was denied, and we were told it was pending implementation of this act. And now we wanted to discuss, because our in-house and external counsel for Talkiatry have clarified that the removal of this in-person requirement for telemedicine prescribing does not apply to Talkiatry, and it only applies to licensed healthcare facilities such as hospitals, and we are not a licensed facility. So as the Chief Medical Officer of Talkiatry, I'm requesting the waiver of this in-person requirement for physicians that we have who are licensed to practice in the state of Louisiana. So our attorneys have advised that the board has the authority to waive the in-person requirement by issuing a statement of position aligning with the current federal position on controlled substance prescribing, or by issuing an advisory opinion stating that the in-person appointments are not necessary for the physicians we're listing in the request. I also wanted to note that as of last week, the DOJ Office of Management and Budget reported that the extension for the to continue to allow for telemedicine prescribing was moved out of OMB, and the DEA's fourth extension waiving this requirement should be announced later this week. And I have the link to that DEA extension if the board would like to see it. Dr. Pearson is our National Director of Clinical Quality, and she is also she's here today as well, because if there are any questions about the practice of medicine, as we at Talk IHR as our practitioners, and what our quality measures are, happy to discuss that with the board if there are any questions.
Is there another speaker? This is Dr. Clark again. Is there another speaker, or do you would wish to entertain questions at this time?
I think it might be easier to entertain questions if there are any specifics about psychiatry or about how we practice that the board would like to answered. Happy to do that. I believe we had also sent out a slide set, just 4 or 5 slides to the board, and we can resend that if anyone has any, just a little bit more about our practice. Yeah.
I'll poll the board and see if there are any questions. Are there any hands? Anyone? Board members?
Well, this is Pat. I'd like to ask a couple questions.
Dr. O'Neill,
of course.
please. This is Dr. O'Neill.
So, Dr. Graves, just so you know, I've been involved in telemedicine for 18 years. I was one of the reasons I was involved in the legislature that allowed it. I'm a professor at Tulane and run telemedicine for our department, in addition to being vice chair for the adult section. Are you guys open asking for all categories to be okayed in Louisiana by your 7 physicians that are licensed here?
What the restriction is that we're not looking for Schedule 2, just 2N, and like Nancy, we're a psychiatric practice. We do not prescribe opioids. They have no place in psychiatric practice. So we're looking specifically for Schedule 2 and 2N and above.
So you're talking Adderall.
Yes, specifically for stimulants for ADHD, yes. And we can talk about how we approach the prescribing of and diagnosis of ADHD if people are interested, but yes, that's specifically what we're talking about.
So we know a lot of companies got in trouble with that during COVID, correct?
Yes, we do, and I resent them for it because they do not practice medicine the way we do. They don't practice medicine if yes.
Their CEO's in federal prison for a very long time.
Yes, I believe she is. I don't know what the sentence is, but I know she was just convicted recently. Yes.
I looked at all the names. Where are these people located in the state of Louisiana, or are they just licensed in Louisiana?
I'd have to check specifically. I'm not sure that. I apologize. I don't. I'd have to look that. I'd have to look up their locations. They're not all in the state of Louisiana. I mean, I'm on here. I'm licensed in the state of Louisiana. I don't live there, but I'd have to look to see exactly where everyone is. I can get that for you though.
The average person that signs on to be one of your employees, I'm assuming these guys are employees as opposed to, doing just when you ask them to do it, right?
No. They're all W-2 employees. Yes, they're all employed by us. Yes.
So I'm assuming I'm also ex-president of Louisiana Psychiatric Association and am still on the board of directors of that. I don't recognize any of these names as actually living in Louisiana. I think maybe 2 or 3 of them. I know Lindsay Langdon is, but other than that, and actually Catherine Cashman lives here. Is that fairly normal when you guys are trying to expand telemedicine services around the country?
Yeah, we're trying to expand. The limited resource as you're aware, is the psychiatrists. There are not a lot of psychiatrists. I personally am also a child psychiatrist, and when you look even to the subspecialties of child psychiatry and other subspecialties, there's just such a small number of us, and because we want to expand high quality care to physicians. And the way to do that is, since you can't make physicians faster, you can't make psychiatrists faster, at least to keep up with demand. I mean, yes, psychiatry is becoming a lot more competitive. People are going into the specialty more. There are more people becoming physicians. There are more medical schools, but the supply and demand is this is severe mismatch. So for us, we are asking our docs to expand where they practice, even though they might not be physically located in a particular state. You know, if we just went by states that people lived in, then New York and California would be fine, but then they're in Texas, that's where Dr. Pearson is, but then smaller states or more rural states would really suffer. And we want to make sure that just because a state doesn't have a lot of psychiatrists doesn't mean they don't have access to high quality physicians. These are all trained psychiatrists, they're residency trained psychiatrists, they're board certified psychiatrists. And
Right.
that's why we want to provide access to that level of care for anyone, regardless of where they are.
And what percent of the people that are licensed in Louisiana right now are child psychiatrists? I don't know. I think maybe two of them.
I'd have to check again. I'm sorry, I don't have that number up, but I can certainly get it. If I can ping someone to get that now, if you would like the answer.
Speaking as a hardened adult psychiatrist, you don't want me seeing kids, even via telemedicine. Okay, I think that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to educate the rest of the board on some of this stuff.
Sure.
I was involved on the tax task force with the ATA back 12, 13 years ago, trying to discuss them loosening up the rules about controlled substances. They were supposed to come out with a directive back then. It never came. So you're telling me that they're now telling you again that they're going to do a new directive, loosening up the restrictions.
Well, not the ATA. We're working directly with directly with governmental bodies. And it's not about, I want to be clear. I don't want things to be loose. What I would want is for us to think about just practically now with telemedicine really, it wasn't invented with the pandemic. I think you made an excellent point. It's been around for a very, very long time. And, thankfully during the pandemic, it was a modality that people could use to continue to get care. Now that the pandemic is over and many have reverted back to in-person care, when it comes to psychiatry, the majority of visits actually still are being done via telemedicine for many, many reasons, not the least of which is people just don't physically have access to a psychiatrist in a reasonable radius from where they are. So it's not about loosening. I think that we have to look at the balance between giving people access and being realistic about what limiting telemedicine access to a psychiatrist would mean. It would, if a psychiatrist is only available via telemedicine and somebody who maybe isn't as well trained or maybe somebody who doesn't have the experience is available physically, I want the patient to be able to say, I'm going to see somebody that is specifically trained for what it is that I have, or for my child. You mentioned that I wouldn't want you to see a child. I'm sure, I'm sure you can see a child. I have no doubt about it. But I think people would want their children to be seen by somebody that is specialty trained to see children. Just like if somebody was diagnosed with cancer, they'd want to go to an oncologist. Somebody's having a baby, they'd want to go to an OB. I think it's the same thing. I think we want to say we want people to have access to the specialists that will provide that highest level of care, regardless of whether or not they physically are able to access that.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dr. Neal. Are there any of the board members who would like to ask a question?
Yeah, this is Dr. Taylor. I have a question.
Of course.
Proceed.
I think in your slide set you referenced Medicare, and you also show a lot of the Medicare Advantage plans that you are contracted with. What is your contract status in terms of state Medicaid?
We are, I think it's in the previous slide. We don't take Medicaid right now. It is something we're exploring. We actually originally started, we take Medicare, the Advantage plans, and commercial insurances. We're a network with pretty much every commercial insurance. We don't take Medicaid right now. It's something we're exploring in the future. It's just when we started Talk IT was specifically because we were people had with commercial insurance didn't have access to in-network psychiatrists. And I can go into the founding story if people are interested. But now that we've expanded to 50 states, we started in New York. Now that we've expanded to 50 states, we're looking at expanding it to Medicaid as well.
Okay. And follow-up question: if you are in a situation where, let's say the clinician does an assessment, does not feel it's appropriate to do this remotely, you said you're going to refer that patient to in-person services.
Yes, sir.
How in Louisiana are you going to do that? Do you have a list? Do you have
Yeah.
an organization? How does that next referral work,
Yeah,
particularly
we
on
have
an urgent or semi-urgent basis?
Sure. So we have case managers who work with patients, and so we do have people that are specifically there. That's what their job is, to refer people. And maybe Cheryl, if you'd like to give a little more information about that. But we do that. If something is emergent, then we do have a way to get people emergency services that are state-based as well. And Cheryl can probably talk a little bit more about our escalation policies there.
Yes, for our patients who require higher levels of care, we work not only with case management, but our case managers work fairly closely with the insurers. And so obviously, the insurers are the person the group who know where a patient can get in-network services for IOP or PHP or inpatient hospitalization. So we work closely with them as well. We do have a robust 911 escalation policy as well as an urgent policy. So it's a hard-lined policy that has a lot of different elements. But wherever the patient is located physically, if there's an emergency that is happening while the patient is in treatment with a clinician, then they will be able to dispatch 911 directly to the patient's address or wherever they physically are located at the time of the visit, which we confirm at the time of the visit.
Okay. And obviously those two questions are related, because the more people have mental health issues, the more they fall off of employer insurance plans and end up on the state plans. And then you're trying to find services for somebody on the state plan, which you don't take. So that's why I was trying to figure out what the situation was.
Sure.
And again, could you, I don't want to repeat too much, but could you be, for those of us may didn't catch it, so there's a federal rule change or update that's coming. Could you tell us again what that is and what agency is doing that?
So right now it's with OMB, which is forgive me if Office of
Managing budget.
Management.
Yeah.
Thank you. I always
welcome.
forget. I always forget management. Right. They just issued another extension to the telehealth prescribing. So it's the exception to the Ryan Height Act that was put in place originally when COVID was when the pandemic rules first were implemented. So that extension to basically pause those is going to be extended yet again for the fourth time, and hopefully
And the
they
DEA
will.
And the DEA is subject to the OMB?
The DEA is the one I don't want to misspeak. My chief compliance officer is actually watching on YouTube right now. But is through the DEA is going to be extending this, is going to be providing this extension. So whoever's been, however it's been going, I'm sorry.
The OMB is going to be giving an extension.
Yes.
To which the DEA must adhere, or is the DEA going to give its own extension?
No, this is the DEA extension. It's the agency is the DOJ and the DEA. If I can put the link to this, I'll put it in the chat. But it's the DOJ and DEA. So let me put that in the chat so y'all can have that.
I want to clarify that, because if we go to say, well, the OMB said so, well, the DEA said, well, we're not the OMB, because you get into a lot of territorial voiding matches. I don't want to get caught up in that.
I am aware. I'm aware. Here you go. I put the link to the notification on the in the chat, so you guys can. But the agency in the listed in this is the DOJ DEA. So it's the DEA exception.
You have a comment?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
Please send that link by email to me at my email address here at the office.
Thank you.
Are there any
Dr. George?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Could you please send that link to my email address at the office? Mr. Eric has it as well.
Yeah, sure. Of course.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr.
Of course.
Are there any other questions from the board members? Anyone see? Mr. Phillips, are there any comments from the public?
Not at this time.
Dr. Clark, it's Dr. Mead.
Dr. Hamid,
question. What's the status quo? Can you do this now or you cannot do it?
We cannot.
And that's never, we don't, in Louisiana, we cannot do it. In other states, you can do this, right? With the Adderall?
Yeah, despite the federal rule that's going to come out, states do have their own rules, and we as a telepsychiatry practice cannot prescribe without an in-person visit. There are exceptions, and this is in Louisiana, and this is why we're here. We are hoping that our practice would qualify for an exception, but right now, psychiatrists through psychiatry are unable to prescribe. And we do not, just to be clear, we do not prescribe.
Dr. Collada, do any other psychiatric firms have this ability? Are there any other exceptions out there?
At this time, I'm unaware of any. It's being done only. This is the first one that has asked us to give a waiver, and we're going to need to do some legal research on it and discuss it in executive session.
So case by case basis. Okay.
Any other questions?
Can I just ask, I'm sorry, can I just confirm, the person that wanted the rule sent via email, if I could just get that person's email, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that I don't make any mistakes for them.
It's a lot of Dr. Collada.
People
Dr.
at lsbme.la.gov, and your
Okay.
attorney, Eric, has my email address. We corresponded extensively.
Yes, got it, Dr. Collada, sorry.
Well, thank you for your presentation today, Ms. Dr. Clark. We will be taking this under advisement and getting back to you. Okay?
Great.
So again,
Thank you.
and happy holidays to you.
Thank you, thank you. Happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you for
All
your
the best.
time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Again, Mr. Phillips, any public comment?
No, sir, not at this time.
All right, Dr. Collada, you're up again.
Next item is the proposed budget for 2026. And the first page of the budget is available for everyone to see.
Is Mr. Keeney here today?
Mr. Keeney is here, and Mr. Keeney.
Yes, I'm on. I didn't know if I needed to be unmuted, but I unmuted myself, so I didn't know what, based on what Alan had said earlier. Good morning, everyone. The budget for this is the proposed budget for 2026. And it reflects the first page here reflects our revenues. Of course, as you all already know, there's no state general fund money given to the LSBME, neither federal. So we are self-funded, and we're funded by our physician, all of our licensees. And also we're funded by a little small interest income and CME and our PHP program, which is all part of our renewals. And so our estimated revenue for 2026 will be $10,305,784 would be the estimated revenue, and that'll be a slight increase from the current year. Okay, next page. Or do I have the ability to scroll down, Alan?
Dr. Collada, should be able to scroll down that.
I apologize.
Dr. Clark was getting my.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you. All right. And this is our second page. This is our proposed expenditures for 2026. And you can also, we estimated what the projected ending balances will be at the end of the current year. So our estimated expenditures for 2026, of course, includes our payroll expenditures, which is at the top, and then our non-payroll expenditures will follow. So our estimated expenditures for the 2026 year will be $10,280,393. And that would mean that we do have our projected revenues will be enough to cover slightly our projected expenditures. Okay, next page.
Kenya, this is
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Good morning. I noticed a big jump in travel expenses from
That is
74,000.
Yeah, and that was a projection. That's if every board member, what I did try to include was a projection for board members to attend the major conferences that I know you do, the FSBME. So in the past, we have not had every board. So that's why the
Okay.
actual is much less. But I wanted to put it there just in case there is a possibility that we had an increase in participation at the FSBME conference.
Okay.
And also, everyone, do not submit their per diems and their travel expenditures for board meetings, but we want to make sure we capture it just in case everyone does. So this is just a reminder too. Some LSU does receive some per diems, but we do have board members that also are eligible. So, and I know everyone may not always, desire to do that. And it's a contribution, but we do want to make sure we have it available for those who do submit their reimbursement. So that is why we just put the actual amount that could be expended.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
I have a question as well, Ms. Collins.
Yes.
I notice, it's a format thing. I noticed that overages and positive figures are in parentheses and negative figures are not. Is that normal notation? Because I've been accustomed to seeing in everything else that I've seen, that we put deficits in parentheses and above zero without parentheses. Is that a
So
change
on the
in
expense,
motif or?
so the expense side, it shows that we will be going more. And I've seen it both ways. And in my case, I did put it that this would be more because it'll be more of a reduction of funds that we would have to use. It'll be the projected increases from the previous year. And I
Right,
understand
but
what you're saying. Mhm.
okay, because usually I think customarily we look at deficits in parentheses or budget shortfall in parentheses.
And
Perhaps I'm the only one that's seen that, but I was
no, that's okay.
I kind of
And it
confused
does.
me for a
So
minute, but I like I think the numbers are okay. I just think
yeah,
I think the
the
parentheses are there, but that's just me.
okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. No, I follow you. So yes, because we are projecting an increase from 2026 over 2005 in our expenditures. And when I presented it, this would be more money taken from our revenue. But I understand your point exactly. I do understand your point.
Okay, Ms. Collins, this is Dr. Me.
Yes,
You
yes.
running, this is, when we report, this is accrual or we're running on a cash basis?
We do our financials on accrual basis.
So how do you budget fees for next year? How do you, is there some,
Oh, it's a projection. We look at the number of licensees that we currently have for the 2025, and it's basically been maybe a 1 to 2% change. So we look at the number of licensees as well as the revenue amounts that we have received from year. I look at 3 years and see what that projected increase is from year to year. But it's been a slight increase in our number of licensees. So we do it based on the historical information. Of course, it's just a projection, so it may either come over or under in the when we run our actuals for the next year. So because of course 2026 we have not expended anything yet and have not received anything yet, so we have to project on what we anticipate, and it's based on previous revenue amounts as well as the number of licensees.
I noticed we rely on income from the physician health program and clinical labs. What are clinical labs? Is that what, we have a lab or what is that?
That's some, and I may want some of our folks on the board to maybe speak to, but the clinical lab, they're not physician renewals, but that's our, I want to say the phlebotomist. I'm trying to think of those that fall in that category. Athletic? No, not the athletic.
It's another,
There's six.
It's just
it's
the
another
CLSs,
class of
the,
licensees. It's another class of licensees.
There's six particular licenses types that go into that
There are
group.
multiple licenses within the class of clinical laboratory personnel. They include generalists, they include specialists, they include cytotechnologists, phlebotomists, and lab assistants. And there are approximately 5,400 of them, 5,800 of them on a given year.
Why is it running lower, Ms. Collins? You see?
Okay, so basically, and I was going to make that change. We combined the revenues for our C lab into we used to report on them separately. We had 2 sets of financials for those, but now we are rolling that line item. We're making it one organization now. So that amount really should roll into our line item with just physician licenses and renewals, because we used to report on them separately, but there was legislation that changed that allowed us to now recoup them. I mean, not recoup it, but really have those reported as income for LSBME and not separate.
Okay.
Yes. And also most of the money for our C-Lab, we collect that at the end of the year. So it looks lower, but it's really a little higher because it's rolled into, a lot of their collections happen at the end of the year. And so the actual data that we have for the first 10 months is reflected, and then we project it out, but most of them renew at the end of the year.
So,
And
so are we accrual or are we cash?
it's accrual basis. We report
Okay.
our financials on accrual basis of accounting,
Okay.
but we do not accrue
Uh-huh.
the licensee revenue throughout the year. We do not, we bill, we don't, I'll put it this way, we show the revenue for our licensees as it's collected. So that is cash basis.
Cash
But
basis.
that's cash basis, but we do have fines and we do have other types of revenue that we do have to accrue. So we do not show as revenue fees that we have not collected from a licensee, because if we did, that would be accrued. But we do not carry those receivables on our books because we do not know who plans to renew and who does not.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
it is, so for that,
it's
in that
blended.
respect, I'm sorry, yes, blended. It's kind of a modified accrual. You're correct. Because the licensees we do collect, we show the revenue as it's collected, but for accounting purposes, when we're audited, they report our financials on an accrual basis. So our expenditures for the most part would definitely be on an accrual basis, because as we receive invoices, we go ahead and of course recognize that expense even though it has not been paid. But on the revenue side, the licensee income, we show it as revenue when it's paid. So yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Any other comments from the board member?
Need a motion to approve
I
the
know,
budget.
I read. Hearing none, any comment from the public?
No, sir, not at this time.
Okay. I'll need a motion to approve the budget for 26, the proposed budget. Do I have one?
Weather, so move.
Dr. Weathers moved, second. Dr. Horton is second. Now, why don't you go ahead and call the roll for this, Dr. Weathers? This is important.
On the motion to accept the proposed budget 26, Dr. Coleman,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Dr. Weather,
Yes.
Dr. Horton, Ms. Ford,
Yes.
Dr. Clark,
Yes.
Dr. Hamid,
Yes.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Dr. O'Neill,
Yes.
Dr. Taylor.
Yes.
You have 10 votes, it passes.
All right, motion carries. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. King. The next, we have a follow-up action items. And the first is a request for public comment by Dr. Perry Fisher. Dr. Fisher available.
Dr. Fisher being admitted to the meeting as we speak. Dr. Fisher is joining, and he has a request that he made several years ago that was rejected and asked him to apply. He's now going to make a request to this board, and he's taking public comments to do so.
Dr. Fisher, this is Dr. Clark, chair of the board. Are you currently on?
He's not. Alan, do you have any problem with Dr. Fisher getting in?
I don't see him unless they have him in a different waiting room.
No, I don't have anything.
He's there.
Get him in.
Dr. Fisher?
He's got something going on his end.
He's muted.
Yeah,
Dr. Fisher, can you unmute? Dr. Fisher, you need to unmute, sir.
Okay, we're getting some activity.
there he comes.
All right.
Fisher, can you unmute yourself, sir?
He's unmuted now. Dr. Fisher, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear somebody speaking.
Okay.
Dr. Fisher, good morning. This is Dr. Roderick Clark. I'm chair of the board, the LSBME. For the record, could you please state your full name, your address, and your request for the board today?
My full name is Perry Fisher, and my address is 5305 East Nettleton, Jonesboro, Arkansas, 72401.
And what is your request of the board?
My request to the board is a little bit more than a request. I have to be allowed the opportunity to add some spice to it.
Proceed.
You say I can proceed?
You may proceed. Yes, sir.
Thank you. What I had intended to do was to give you a homily, a short homily, and then followed by epilogue explaining why I've taken the position I had. The previous decision made by the board was that this case was closed. And I'm of the opinion that you can't exactly close a case that has been not adjudicated but decided by an administrative procedure. And then from looking at the past case was that there were some reversible errors made in the administrative part of the first case, where the board had met in my absence in the first instance, which resulted in a suspension. And then after I requested a board meeting with my presence, then they revoked my license, and they did not give me an algorithm for reinstatement. Matter of fact, it was stated that they were not going to reinstate my license. It would be permanent. So having said that, I started working overseas. Now, someone may have told you in the past that this and that about me, but all these years I've been working overseas, and it's time for me to tie some loose ends together. I'm thinking more in terms of a legacy. And the legacy that I would be leaving right now is not suitable. It's not suitable for my family, nor for a proper memory of me. And so I would like to be given the opportunity for a reinstatement of a medical license. Now, I understand that the greater good of the public is always the first consideration in board meetings and a board of your type. You have to consider the public interest and safety first, but there are some check valves along the way that you can employ. So I think that I would suggest that you think about or look at some algorithms. One suitable algorithm I was just thinking is to put me on a preceptorship, or suggest that I work on a preceptorship of at least 3 different people. The people that you can trust who are suitably competent and would give me a proper evaluation. At the end of that time, if the evaluation are fair and positive in my sight, then I could proceed to the second phase, a quantitative examination by written format, like a special purpose examination where I could be tested and to see if my knowledge is current. But to mention to you some things that are in my favor as far as being reinstated, number one, I've never been given a second chance. Number two, all these years that have elapsed since my initial licenses, I had applied several times. Each time the board would change, I would apply, and I never did get an answer except one time I got an answer, and in that case, that was a board that was headed by a man from Lafayette named Labaudet, and I went to his office because I left from overseas when I found out that someone from Lafayette was on the board as a chairmanship is concerned. I went and talked with him at his office. It didn't end well for me because he wound up calling the police on me because of an argument. So I left it there. Then the next time that I met with submitting an application.
Mr. Phillips, did we lose Dr. Fisher?
Yeah, it looks like he dropped off. I don't know.
That form of part and comes back on, depending on how long it takes to threaten.
No.
I mean, you can let him go all day, I don't care, I was just.
Here's
Came
the
to the point where you want to.
Mr. Phillips, I'm looking for next steps here.
Well, if he's gonna, the only thing he can do is try to join again. I can't condone.
Does he realize that he's off? That's the
Yeah, I don't.
You can-
Can someone call him and let him know?
He does not give us his phone number. He uses a Proton email address, which is untraceable. So I think the only thing we can do is move on and come back if he joins the meeting.
That's amenable to the board. That's what we do. Okay. All right. If he comes back, we'll have him come back. All right. The next is my report, the president's report. So again, good morning and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and again, Happy New Year. I'd like to take time this morning to recognize the dedication and excellent performance of our agency staff over this past year. Dr. Collada and our agency personnel have done an outstanding job in taking this agency to another level and reaching the goals put before them. At this time, I'd like to recognize the agency department head, Dr. Michael Francis, our Director of Investigation, Ms. Patricia Wilton, our head of our legal department, Ms. Kenya Collins, our CFO, Ms. Aloma James, our Director of Licensure, Alan Phillips, Chief Information Officer and Sergeant at Arms, Susie Allen, Director of Research and Education, and Jacinta Deku, our Executive Staff Officer, for their excellent work. I'd like to also recognize our board members of the LSBME who give generously of their time and treasure for service of our citizens of Louisiana. My deepest thanks to you, Dr. Rita Harton, our Vice President, Dr. Leonard Weather, our Secretary Treasurer, Dr. Weiss Coleman, Dr. John Hamid, Dr. Patrick O'Neill, Dr. Kim Sport JD, Dr. James Taylor, Dr. Terry Thomas, and Dr. Cheryl Williams. Thank you for what you do. I really only have one item to discuss in my president's report. As you recall, at the last meeting, we began discussion on possible changes of rules with regard to the collaborative agreement between physicians and advanced practice nurses. Since October, I've learned the transitions that have occurred or will occur in the Louisiana State Board of Medicine. Louisiana Board of Nursing. Out of deepest respect for the nursing board, I, as president, have deferred action on rule change until our friends at the nursing board have had some time. So therefore, I will be postponing any action until the time is appropriate to move forward. And hopefully that will be in the next few months. So that concludes my presentation. Again, thank you very much. We'll do Dr. Kamal.
Mr. President,
Mr.
Dr. Fisher, rejoin if you want to let me speak on.
Dr. Fisher, I'm sorry we lost you for a while. This is Dr. Clark. Dr. Fisher?
Do you want me to continue or you want to stop the meeting here?
So we didn't know if we're gonna get you back or not, sir, so we just continued, but we're gonna go ahead and open it up. We usually allow the speakers to speak for about 5 minutes or so. You've already spoken for about 4 minutes. So if you don't mind, could you kind of sum up your presentation for us, please? I'll give you a few extra minutes. How about that?
No, that's not acceptable. You're dealing with something which happened over a course of 50 years, and you're going to tell me that I don't have an adequate enough time, not give me an adequate enough time to explain? Well, then I'll put it this way. I would like to be
This is
reconsidered.
Dr. Clark. Out of respect, how much time you will need, sir? How much time are you requesting, sir?
I'm requesting enough time for me to be reasonable in my presentation and to complete my presentation. Otherwise, you don't have an adequate idea about what happened to me and what I went through. Maybe it's the things that I'm saying. This is not a fair thing that you're even saying right now.
Well, I don't want to argue the point. I'll give you a total of 10 minutes, so you have 6 more minutes to finish. Thank you very
I'll
much.
tell you what, I'm gonna end it by saying I would like to be reconsidered for reinstatement, and I would like for the board to develop an algorithm for my reinstatement. And that could be either working under a preceptorship under 2 or 3 doctors, and then a written examination after that's completed. And then the combination of the 2 information engines could be used to determine whether or not I'll be reinstated, provided that the results are favorable from both. That's the end of my presentation.
Okay, well, we will take it under advisement and we will be getting back to you. I really appreciate you taking the time today to speak with us.
Who is this speaking? Are you
I'm
the
Dr.
president
Robert
of
Clark. I'm president of the board, medical examiner, sir.
you the one that's from Mamu, aren't you?
No, sir, I'm not from Mama. I'm from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Right, previously you were in Mamu. You're not a very pleasant man, sounding man. And I'm not happy. I'm not happy about the way you cutting me off and whatnot. You might as well not even open this thing. What kind of person are you?
Well,
Because
I apologize if you were offended.
I'm speaking
but
freely because I'm still gonna be working overseas. I can go work overseas, but you just can't come in and Beauregard people's presentation. You should have given me time. Didn't you break in my presentation about something concerning a nursing board? You should be the one giving me the presentation to get your license renewed. Not a nice person at all. It seems to me that you have a megalomaniac attitude. You're an arrogant ass man.
Well, I apologize that way, sir, but we're moving on. We appreciate your time today.
I don't want to talk with you any damn way.
Okay, thank you.
Miss-
Any Comments from the public? Or from?
Not at this time.
Mr. President,
Yes, Dr. Webb.
just to add on to Collada's invitation, particularly, and this is really germane to the staff. So I received a miss from a potential licensee who stated that the staff was exceptionally courteous and helpful, and he greatly appreciates it. And this is regards, I guess it was in Saloma or one of her staff.
Thank you for that, Dr. Weather. We appreciate it. Okay.
Dr. Clark, this is Dr. Mead. Is
Dr.
that when they're asking for being re-credentialed or reinstated rather, that's the format that we do here?
This is an unusual circumstance.
Okay.
We'll talk about it a little later in executive session.
Understood.
Thank you. Okay,
And Dr. Clark, I don't think that you were rude or disruptive at all. Just to let you know, your tone was
Yeah.
very professional and polite.
I went ahead and disconnected him. It's just got beyond the point of being able to let him continue. So.
Well, thank you very much. Dr. Pilati, your next up is your report.
Yes, sir. Our advisory committees have been very active. The National Acupuncture Certification Body and our act has changed its name of the organization, and we're working with the advisory committee to address the necessary rules that need to be made to standardize that process with this new certification agency. They are also in need of a physician that is qualified in acupuncture. We only have about 300 of them in the state, and we were able to find one that is volunteering, willing to do it, and I need the board to appoint Dr. Michael Wiedemann, who is a board certified OBGYN, and he's also had the acupuncturist training, and he does acupuncture as part of his practice. He's volunteered to accept the position. The advisory committee wholeheartedly supports this recommendation, and I would ask that the board appoint him. This is not a governor's appointment. This is a board appointment. I would like a motion to appoint him, if it's at all possible today.
Is someone willing to, is a board member willing to move on Dr. Pilati's request?
Sports so moves.
To support his motion.
Second.
Second by Dr.
Taylor, second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any dissension? Hearing none, the motion carries. Dr. Pilati.
The Respiratory Care Advisory Committee has met several times to address the possibility of a respiratory care compact. We have participated in meetings with Representative Jackson from District 2 in the Shreveport area, along with the organizations that support these and develop these compacts. We've been advised by members of the advisory committee that the state association will not request a compact law at this time. The Respiratory Care Advisory Committee is also finalizing a rule change that will soon be presented to you for approval and begin the APA process. The Occupational Therapy Compact Committee is meeting, electing new officers, new members, and examining concerns of the community regarding recent rule changes. And it must be said that we have worked very hard with them to make this work. There are some problems we still continue to find, and the compact issue remains somewhat concerning in the area of occupational therapy. The Medical Psychology Advisory Committee met and reviewed the recent rule and revision of the boards and the rules of proceeding for the promulgation process after the opportunity to review the comments and the changes that the board made at the last meeting, but they now wholeheartedly support it. The Physician Assistant Advisory Committee has met, and they dealt with some discipline matters in accordance with legal requirements for their review. And while there is no formal advisory committee for midwives at this time, we've met with some of their association leadership and their attorney in an effort to build consensus for our upcoming rule change. For the midwives, we're considering rules that have the board establish an advisory committee as well, because that is not part of the law, it will move. And so that proceeds on, and I'll be contacting Dr. Thomas and Dr. Weather for some additional meetings. They have requested that most recently, since this report was submitted, an opportunity to meet with you all directly, and we'll work with your times. And I made it clear that they're going to accept the times that Dr. Weather and Dr. Thomas are available. So I'll be talking to you all tomorrow to try and set that up. I want to talk about the Occupational Compact Commission, and it is my privilege to serve as a commissioner to this compact. And I presented the concerns of our Occupational Therapy Advisory Committee and the LSBME regarding the problem present in their new rules regarding criminal background checks. There was a spirited discussion, and our state's position was outvoted 14-13. The Occupational Therapy Compact Committee will require the LSBME to license by privilege OTs and OTAs that have never had a criminal background check. We have so far been able to protect the personal information of our licensees by changing the data system methods, but at this time, unless something changes, we will be licensing these people without a criminal background check, which is in contradistinction to the required law, and we may have to talk to the Attorney General to find out what our position will be. But I just want to make you aware that this is somewhat controversial and evolving all the time. Ms. Wilkin and I have met with the AG's office to address some questions about the fully trained foreign physician rules. We received some recommendations for change from the AG's office. Ms. Wilkin and I are working to incorporate them in a proposal to be approved as rapidly as possible. We hope to have them for you for the January meeting. The good news is it doesn't have to go back with the changes to the AG's office. It just have to go through the re-notification, initial notification process, 35-day comment period, and then move on. I will tell you that Ms. Wilton and I attended the Interstate Medical Licensing Compact Commission meeting in Denver on November 17th and 18th. And it is now working to provide IT support services to the newly forming compacts. I continue to serve on the Technology Committee. Ms. Wilton continues to serve on the Rules Committee. Ms. Aloma James, of our Director of Licensing, presented information for Louisiana Society of Medical Staff Services. She addressed the board's mission, licensing staff, licensing processes, licensing metrics, and alternative pathways to licensure, which include military permits, welcome home permits, retired status, and fully trained foreign physicians. She and Ms. Wilton addressed several issues related to our investigative process, and on the whole, our presentation was well received. We give great credit to our licensing agents. In terms of our metrics, our licensing data continues to demonstrate an overall average time from initial application to granting of license of less than 20 days. View of our investigation data indicates an average time of preliminary review of 84 days. We had opportunities to bring the averages down in both departments and doing great work in timeliness and effectiveness. This work is consistent with our mission to protect the citizens from licensing and regulation in a manner that protects the rights of our licensees. And again, I commend both departments for the hard work that they've done over the last 12 to 15 months, and we're really bringing ourselves to a new level of service. A quick review of the data that's going on in the investigation. As closing business of 10/31, we had a total of 178 total open investigations, whereas a little over a year ago, we had over 500 open cases. Right now, we have only 106 cases in preliminary review, 24 informal. We have 48 that are in exempt preliminary review. These are things that are potential criminal or federal processes that are going on, such as Medicaid fraud, etc. And so we take no action on these until those issues are resolved. We have 4 adjudication and 4 that are being assigned to cases by chief at this time. That's where the picture was, snapshot to a total of 178 open investigations. The days in standard preliminary review, if you recall, a little over a year ago, we were at almost 400 days in preliminary review. Our mean number of days is now 84. And as you can see, there's some outliers. We're working to correct those. We've had some personnel changes, and the team is working very hard to bring those back to a much shorter time. And you know, the most common number of days in preliminary review is now 32. And also, I think it's important to point out that the average number of cases for investigators was 13.6. Where the past was high as 80, but we trimmed it down to significant numbers because of the hard work. I want to comment on some last quarter data for the licensing. And as you can see, our licensing numbers are extremely good. We have all of these across the board are very low. We have a few outliers at 21. We have 1. And so this is our last quarter data and graphics of all. As you can see, by the time you pick up, everything is under 20 days, even though we have some that are 26 and 25. But overall, our licensing numbers are under 20 days across the board. This is our annual data. And again, you can see that these numbers, we have a few outliers. We've addressed a lot of these outliers, but the number of days are coming down across the board in all of our cases, all of our classes and subclasses of license. Again, these are our licensed respiratory therapists. You can see how they're moving down. You've got occupational therapists are moving down. Osteopaths have been very good across the board, much like physicians. Occupational therapists continue to do well. All phases, our team in all areas is working very hard. And again, same thing for physician assistants. Still a little bit of a problem with working with them. But again, I think overall our data continues to reflect the hard work of our licensing agencies, and especially our analysts to do the work that needs to be done. So again, this is our annual look at the numbers today. We had 1 outlier that brought us this unique number, and we've addressed that concern. I have nothing else to say. Defer now to the direct investigation.
Good morning, everyone. So, number of cases received 74.
Percentage of complaints resolved within 70 to 35%. Number of cases closed 26. Total number currently open 48. Right now, as of November 30th, we have approximately 205 cases open, and we're trying to stay consistent with that number of cases each month, which is about the national average, a little bit wrong. So we've been doing pretty good. I'd like to thank everybody else in my department for the excellent work they're doing. We're just trying to do our jobs. That's it.
Thank
Nobody
you,
has any
Dr.
questions?
Thank you, Dr. France, very much. Okay. And again, thank you to our staff and very proud, and we should all be very proud of our agency. I think we're setting we're becoming the gold standard, I believe, in Louisiana, in my opinion. Next is Ms. Collins with the financial report.
Okay, yes. Good morning again. This is our balance sheet, and it's as of October 31st, 2025. Our reconciled cash account is at 10,861,334. The receivables that are reflected relates to fines, penalties that have been imposed upon by the board to a physician, and that's $44,007.60. The next section is our allowance for bad debt. And also our prepaid insurances, and our total assets, it totals $21,125,042.12. And that includes also our prepaid insurances for legal services, our civil service, which is our HR. That's a prepay that we expense out on a monthly basis. And the next section is our property, plant, and equipment. And the last section is deferred outflows related to our retirement liability. This section is our liabilities. We have our outstanding payables and also our outstanding other current liability. This is for vendors as well as for our payroll liability. So those are our accruals for payables in this section, and our total liabilities and equity again equal to $21,125,042.12. And that's our balance sheet. And the next page reflects our 4 years of revenues and expenses as of October 31st. Our first section is our revenues. That's our licensees, penalties and fines, the PHP revenue, CME revenue, interest income, and other miscellaneous income from copies and things of that nature. So our total revenues to date as of October 31st is $8,419,758. And our expenses below for salaries and related benefits and also our non-payroll expenditures are at the bottom, and that total is $7,499,289. And it shows our net position at the end of October at $920,470. And I know our scanning project is complete, so we're waiting on the last invoice, so that should be finalized for this fiscal year as well. And that has been reflected in our expenditure section as well. So that concludes the finance report.
Any questions from the board members for Ms. Collins?
Ms. Collins,
Yes.
Dr. Hamid, when I renew my license and I use the credit card,
Yes.
who pays the fee? You or me?
No, no, the physician does at this time. Before, when I first started, we were absorbing that fee. We were
Okay.
taking it on, but it was almost $200,000.
Yeah.
So after I got here, we did correct that, but we then changed the policy where that cost is now passed on to the licensee.
Okay. Good. Next question. Employee, your SW&B, the salaries and wages, sorry, S&W. You went up 800,000 or so, 600,000. What, we hired some new people?
Well, we had a lot of vacant positions last year, and we had one of our top one of our higher level our unclassified, we had a vacancy for a while. And so this year we did bring on a replacement. I'm not gonna say a replacement, but I know Dr. Francis moved up, and we also brought on an assistant in his area, but we had a lot of vacant positions last year.
Okay. Understood. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other
And
questions?
and I just want to say too, the benefits went down. Even though the salaries went up, the benefits went down is related to the change that we had in our deferred comp policy where we reduced the matching requirements and also the retirement system, the amount that we have to match lowered as well. So that's why it seems, even though salaries went up, our wage and benefits went down because of those two factors.
Dr. Thomas. You're.
Hi, good morning. Ms.
Good morning.
Collins, I noticed that in terms of revenue, the penalties, the fines, the PHP revenue both went up. How do we explain that? And then do we expect that trend to continue?
Well, PHP is part of the licensee's renewal process. So when a licensee pays their fees, that's going to be assessed at, in the same proportion. So that is a result of licensees. But our penalties and fines, it's really based on the actions of investigations, and it sounds like they have been doing they've been doing have increased the number of clay cases that close that may have resulted in a fine or penalty. So that definitely could be part of that explanation as to why we have an increase, but that's based on the actions of the board, and we follow the actions of the board, and we then bill the licensee accordingly. So that will be based on things that are presented to the board that would result in a penalty on a physician.
I guess my question about PHP is, did we have more licensees this year?
Yes, ma'am, we have more licensees, so it's more money that we collected and more money that we paid through. Because we've never reestablished or renegotiated a contract, because we're waiting to see if we could start charging PHP fees to all of our non-prescribers, because that is what happens to our non-prescribers. They have no prepaid insurance for evaluation. They can't get an evaluation. When they get in trouble, they can't get their license process investigations going because they have no way of evaluating. We hope to be able to renegotiate and get some pass-through fee collection service negotiated with them, but again, all that is dependent upon getting the other fees for the rest of the people. But as we collect the money, 100% ends up going to the PHP to fund their activities for our licensees.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. Any other questions?
Dr. Thomas, other than Dr. Thomas.
Okay, Mr. Phillips, any comments from the public?
No, sir, not this time.
Okay, we will need a motion to approve the financial report. Do we have a motion from the floor?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Dr. Coleman, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Dissension? Hearing none. Motion carries. Financial report is approved. Next up on the agenda is future meeting dates.
These are the projected future meeting dates. If nobody has any objection, continue to operate under those, and we'll be on January 26, 2026 for our next meeting.
When is Mardi Gras, guys?
Just said that I think you excluded Mardi
It's
Gras.
February, it's the week before that meeting. I think it's like the 16th, 17th, something like that.
So it'll be after the meeting, we scheduled after Mardi Gras.
Do we need to approve the date?
Just to, yeah, please.
It's the 17th.
Yeah, Mardi Gras is the 17th.
Yeah.
17th.
Dr. Collada is requesting we vote on these dates to affirm them. So is there a motion? Is there a motion on to approve these dates, please?
They've been
So
approved.
moved.
So move Dr. Coleman, second.
Weather.
Dr. Weather, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any dissension? Hearing none, motion carries. They are approved. Okay, and then we have a regulatory report.
This, the athletic trainers rules will be published in the December 20th register. The MedSite rules are presently in review by the Legislative Fiscal Office. And we are in the process of working through the remainder of the regulatory promulgation process with the CME, the obesity, and the office-based surgery referrals, and we expect all of those to be ready and published in the January 20.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson, for that information. Mr. Phillips, again, I will ask if there are any comments from the public.
Not at this time.
Okay, I believe that finishes our business in public session. I will ask for a motion to go into executive session, please.
Sports so moves.
Ms. Ford, and seconded by who? Dr. Hort. Okay, all in favor? Aye.
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 Any dissension? Hearing none, we're in executive session.
We need a few minutes to transfer everybody into the meeting room for executive session.
All right, let me get that for you.
Another thing is that.
See it. Closes the, you bring up the document yourself. You're in the Zoom link.
I need to.
I can turn, you can see the Zoom right there, that's right.
Yeah, I'll see how it goes.
And you can also.
But I'm sometimes going back and forth.
Yeah, you can have it as.
I'll fix it. For you.
Yeah, we'll take 5.
Yeah, oh,
If you click on the blue join button, you'll get there quicker.
yes, please, should we
right, is everybody back? We're now in public session. Dr. Taylor, would you like to make a motion involving, regarding the minutes, public minutes?
Yes. Yes, thank you, Dr. Clark. I'd like to make a motion that the both the public and executive session minutes be changed to reflect that I was recused on investigation number 2023-I-30 and not 2025-I-221 as noted in the current minutes.
And just for point of information, that's from the meeting from October 27th.
October 22nd, section 22, part D.
Okay, all right, from the last meeting, previous meeting in October.
Last week, October meeting, yes.
All righty. We have a motion.
So moved.
So I think we have to have a motion to amend the public minutes. So we'll do that. So you move to amend them. Second.
That's my motion.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
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 Hearing no dissension, the public minutes are amended. The executive minutes from October, Dr. Taylor, you have a motion to amend those?
A motion to change the denotation of recusal from 2025-I-221 to investigation 2023-I-30.
Okay, do we have a second? Dr. Horton, all in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Hearing no dissension, motion carries. Now, Dr. Taylor, would you like to make a motion to approve those executive minutes?
Would love to make that motion, Dr. Clark.
Thank you.
Move to approve the minutes as amended.
Okay, and all in favor? Oh, second, I'm sorry, just a second on that. All in favor?
Aye.
In a second.
Yep.
Dr. Horton, seconds, all in favor? Aye.
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 Hearing no dissension, motion carries. All right, the next issue is on the item, and I think Dr. Taylor may want to speak to this as well, is 5.00.01. It's for application fee appeal.
Yes, I think that this person pretty clearly was involved in a continuous training, and although it looks like we approached this from regarding medical education, the language in question 11 does specifically say professional education or training program, and for someone in a continuous program, there would be no interruption. And I think, as we said, that or our staff has made the decision to clarify that language to prevent this in the future. But I certainly think that it would be well within our.
So your motion is
motion is to approve the waiver of the second fee.
All right. Okay. And do I have a second?
Sport seconds.
The support, they have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any dissension? I'm a no as well. So the motion carries.
Thank you.
All righty. And we have I'd like to we have an administrative complaint that we need to approve on 7.2.1. Do I have a motion to approve the administrative complaint?
So moved.
To accept it?
Sport seconds.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Hearing no dissension, it carries. I just want to also get a motion on an interaction that I've taken against 7.3.1. They have a motion to affirm.
Move to approve.
Ratify. Okay. Dr. Harder, motion second.
Second, Taylor.
Dr. Taylor, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Dissension? Hearing none, it carries. We have request to initiate a formal investigation on 7.4.1. Do I have a motion? Move to approve, Dr. Hart.
Second.
Dr. Taylor, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any extension? Hearing none, motion carries. And last but not least, 7.4.2, which is to extend the preliminary review. Do I have a motion?
So moved, O'Neill.
Dr. O'Neill, second.
Second sport.
Ms. Ford, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hearing no dissension, motion carries. All righty, motion to go back into executive session. The move by Dr. Harden, second by Dr. Taylor. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Hearing no dissension, let's go back into executive session. Thank you. Garrett. Yeah. This is why.
I don't eat those. I'm trying to be happy. Hopeless. Yeah, they're supposed to be making a move. Mr. Senator Allen, can we make the move? There we go.
Wow, so dry.
Never go into politics. Never.
Don't do that.
Yes.
That'll get you in trouble. But my mom,
At least the unvarnished truth.
but my mom would say, "When make somebody mad, tell them the truth."
All right, looks like everyone's back, Dr. Clark.
All right. You back?
Everyone. You just have to neck on drop them in the. I'm not going to be, but they're going to meet.
I don't like it either.
Oh.
Yes, Dr. Clark,
Looks like we're back. Yeah.
Back in public session, back on YouTube. All right, I will entertain a motion for consent orders for 7.5.1, 7.5.2, 7.5.3, and 7.5.4. Do I have a motion? Dr. Harden has moved, second.
Sports seconds.
Second, Dr. Williams.
Just Dr. Sported, Dr. Williams, second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any dissension? Hearing none, those motions carry. Then we have investigations letter of concern and enhanced letters of concern from 7.6.1, 7.6.2, 7.6.3, 7.6.4. Do I have a motion on those consent orders? I mean, on letters of concern. Dr. Harden has moved, second.
Second, Dr. Williams.
Dr. Williams is seconded. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Dissension? Hearing none, those motions carry. Then we have, I need a motion for the closed cases. Do I have a motion to approve the closed cases?
So moved, Sport.
All right, we have a through. All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any dissension? Hearing none. Motion is carried. Next is the malpractice report and the closed case report, 7.8 and 8.1.1 and 8.1.2. Do I have a motion to approve the malpractice and closed case reports? Dr. Hart is moved, second.
Sport.
Ms. Ford is second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any dissension? Hearing none, motion carries. Any new business for the board today? Anything we've missed, Ms. Jacinta, that we need to manage that we haven't covered?
No, sir, it looks like that's everything.
All right, so have a motion to adjourn.
I have one thing. I'm sorry, Dr. Clark.
All right, Dr. Thomas has some business.
This may not be the appropriate time to bring it up, but I wanted to.
Public session, is that okay? Or you prefer to do this as an executive session?
No, it can be an open session.
Okay.
No, one of the things that I really hold that is near and dear to my heart that I really think we could do a better job of is discouraging marijuana use in pregnancy. It's a huge problem in this state. And some more recent information has come about neonatal mortality. So it increases the risk for stillbirth, low birth weight, preterm delivery, all the things that we're trying to work against here in Louisiana. And so just food for thought that maybe the board could put a position statement out if you think that that's appropriate for the coming year. So that's something that I've always wanted to kind of work on, but never had the opportunity to say that.
Thomas, I have similar concerns in regard to general medicine and the young adolescents with GI issues, etc. That are, who are taking marijuana. I would support us having some, before we even consider a letter of concern, I mean, a letter of position, is to have some speakers come in and position experts and discuss these issues with the board, educate the board on some of these areas. You would be agreeable to that. Is that would you be okay with that? You know, having some speakers come in, some experts, maybe from medical schools, to come in and talk about these issues, or if you'd like to have someone come in and do a presentation, I'd be more than happy to entertain that on the agenda in the coming months.
And I think Miss Allen, Dr. Allen mentioned about the newsletter in the chat.
Go ahead, Doctor.
Yes, with all due respect, I'm just a little concerned with our rules here in the state of Louisiana. If we address this issue, well, all of a sudden, a pregnant woman gets tested positive for marijuana and get arrested and put in jail, like they do in Alabama or Mississippi.
I think it's mostly educational, most.
True. The question is, if we bring this up, will all of a sudden some legislature saying, well, hey, yeah, maybe we should just arrest them like we do for everything else.
There's no,
Concern. I know
there are things put in place in the state it's not considered punitive. So no one, that's part of the reason why I think we need a position statement, is because there's a lot of patients that are afraid to disclose that information. And so they are missing out on that counseling. And there is no punitive measures for those moms. That is the myth among mothers, is that if they do say something, that their babies will be taken away from them. And that's simply not the case.
Well, I'd be more than happy to entertain that, Dr. Thomas. Dr. Collada.
There's a recent December the 10th publication on the UCLA Medical Center, about 2,500 different studies that they reviewed, showed almost no value to medical marijuana at all. But I think we are walking in a dangerous position as the board, because we've already been censored by legislators for what we've said about medical marijuana in the past. I do think what you're saying is extremely important in OB. Maybe it should be Louisiana Association of OBGYNs that should do it, LAHG. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I fully agree with you, Doc. I think it's a problem. It's been a problem for many years. But I just don't know if we're the right people to be doing it.
Well, let's put it on the agenda for next month and let's talk about it. And if you want to bring someone to speak to the board, I think that would be good to give us some education about it. Doc, if you'd like to do that. So give it Dr. Collada and then we'll put it on the agenda. You can at least talk about it. Then we can decide if we want to take any actions or not. Okay. All right. Any other points of discussion? All right, well, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, everyone. Be safe and have fun. Take care.
Okay.
Same to you.
Thank you. Same to all.
See you guys.
Okay.
I don't know, Andy. All I know is we make so many rules